Welcome to the Smite Console League, and we're as red hot as Bologna. Finch here, joined by Will, Gormizer, Newberry, right here to my left. Glad to have you. We got a set coming up with a ton of implications, maybe not for who's going to land, but in terms of momentum. Revenge already qualified. They don't want to go in on a loss.
Yeah, right now they're 3-2, so going in 3-3, again, not only losing at the tail end, but losing to Fable, I think, of everyone at 1-4 team. It kind of brings you morally down when you're trying to go into land, so you definitely want to be able to win this one and make yourself at least a little bit confident because you're going to have to go against rival.
That's right. You want to be able to win against the teams you're supposed to be able to win against, or at least teams you're predicted to win against. And you're right, if you're going to be playing against rival, the actual EU powerhouses in Europe, then you want every bit of confidence you can get. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at those standings that we've kind of been alluding to here, Gormizer, so we can see where everyone's already shaken out. As you can see, rival 4-0, they've been looking great. Revenge 3-2, those teams are already going. Over in North America, that second place spot still up for grabs. It could be Astral or Armada, but here in Europe, we're going to be looking at Revenge going up against Fable, GG, EU, whichever.
Simultaneously, this is actually kind of a big game for Fable, just because if they could take a win here, then that means not only are they not bottom, which is actually really important, I want to say, in terms of a league, but you've been able to showcase at least that the bottom three can be contested, that there is kind of a chance for you. So this is something that you really need to kind of look forward to. Of course, some teams, especially when they're 1-4, tend to get a little bit demoralized, but I feel like they still could push for it.
No, and you're exactly right. I think anytime that you can kind of differentiate yourselves, come out and say, hey, at least we came out with a couple two-set victories. At least you weren't down there, the last ones in the split. You can always build off of that. So as we move into the picks and bans here for game one, there's definitely some things on the line in terms of momentum, in terms of mentality going into the LAN, as well as the fall split for both these squads.
Now, it has admittedly been a while, but I was watching the meta segment on Esports Weekly, and I pretty much have gotten the gist that pretty much anybody could be picked or banned at any point. So I'm ready for it.
No, you're definitely right. There's a lot of stuff that's being prioritized here right now, but I wouldn't be surprised. And a lot of stuff's viable. I think that you can pick just about anything at this point, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if we see sustainers taken off the board, like the Chang Oz we've seen, the Guan Yus, Athena. No big surprise to me at all. Artemis has also been a really priority pick lately in that Hunter role.
It's one of those things that I feel like Artemis is in that area where just because that early crit, that's one of the things that was very big in meta's past, and it's always really nice when you're in a boxing match. It's like, okay, every time you hit, you have that just chance to hit a little bit harder, and that just going to win you a fight early on. It's going to be Zhang, which again for console doesn't surprise me too much.
No, not at all. I think that's a pretty big deal that you pointed out, that not only is Zhang just stronger in general now with some of the reworks that he's had, but also stronger on console. It's so easy, when you're able to get that big AoE ultimate. A lot of his abilities are the big square, the big circle stun around him. It works really well when you got that box controller in hand.
And just the damage that he can do.
It's insane.
It's kind of, I want to say, underestimated. Like, you go into a fight against Zhang, and every time, at least for me, you think, I'm going to be able to beat this guy. And then all of a sudden, you're dead, and you're just curious about what could have happened.
Well, there's no opportunity, and either way, Zhang not going to be in this game. It is Chernobog, our newest Gon, who's available, at least Baron Samedi not available just yet, that is available, going to be in the selection here for Revenge. Going to pair that with the Geb and the Ra. I love this. Ra, so strong in the mid lane, provides some sustain. Geb, one of the better late game guardians you can ask for with that Geb Shield Cataclysm combination. And Chernobog, we all know with his rotational prowess, easily a top tier hunter.
And I'm really excited to see the Snipes versus Snipes. I mean, Thoth and Ra both have insane objectives secure. So with things going the way they could, I think it still kind of goes towards Revenge just in terms of control, just because of the way they've been able to play in the past. But Fable are really putting themselves up to the point where they have a lot of contest here.
That's right. It's going to be a bit of a laser light show around these objectives, potentially, right? Between the Searing Pain and the Final Judgment.
Start playing some Rush in the background.
Oh, I'd love that. I actually would love that, right? I don't know. That's a bad idea. Can't make drum effects.
We'll get taken down.
There is. Odin and Osiris going to be banned away there by Fable, so perhaps looking to get more sustained. Odin can get banned even without really sustain on the board because the cage can be just so strong. His early pressure can be strong as well, so we'll see what Fable wants to round their draft out with, as they already have the Athena Cerberus, or rather the Achilles Cerberus, so perhaps just a jungler they're missing.
I mean, you're talking about sustain. You have Ra for the heals, but Hercules is going to be able to keep himself alive, no problem. Achilles might cause a little bit of trouble just because of the execute, but a lot of what they have going on, shielding and healing, Revenge just don't want to die.
No, that's exactly how it feels. I love this Awilix pick to go with it, because Geb does have a little bit of a knock-up on the Shockwave. Yeah. Hercules can knock you up as well. And, of course, Awilix has her own setup in her kit. But it's a little bit curious that Fable are the ones who banned the Odin with the Ra already on the board. It's a little curious that they were worried, especially because they were going to pick right after the ban phase, too.
And that one, to me, there's like two paths that always takes, right? There's either, okay, we can't really play the Odin, which I'm going to write off right now, because how could you not play Odin? It's relatively, it's not even like that simple. It's just that
there we go.
When you have that cage, you really want it. So yeah, the Aphrodite Again, pulling in a lot of heals, a lot of control that she can bring. She can't change up a fight, although I feel like it's kind of shaky. You really have to have a good player who's hot on the buttons.
Well, absolutely, and you're going to need your Aphrodite to come from that. I imagine it's going to be the soul lane Aphrodite. Come through with that very, very in the lead. And Hercules is someone that can kind of bully the Aphrodite to some extent, but as long as, I assume it's going to be Achilles here in the jungle for them, Cerberus support, as long as a little bit of pressure early from this Achilles, with that execute, they have some kill potential on the Herc. I think they can get this Aphrodite to the point where she's a problem.
Once you get her to like level 3, you can kind of leave her alone, right? Sure. She's going to have that clear, so she's not going to have to worry too much about Hercules. Still going to be some precarious positioning because you have to get up into the wave, and he's going to be looking for the knockback. It's going to be, do I clear, do I kill? Which one do I want to go for? And I think that's going to depend on where Awilix is, where she's trying to put her pressure, because that damage early on especially could just burst you down.
Let's go ahead and move into game 1, get the action underway between Revenge and Fable, see how these compositions work out, because we don't always get to see the Awilixes, you know, we don't always get to see the Aphrodites get selected as well, so very excited to see where these picks are all going to end up working out for him. It is, as we expected, Aphrodite over there rocking the solo lane. Waldrom going to take Achilles into the jungle, and it's going to be the Hercules in solo.
I'm really excited just because I feel, out of everything that they have on this lineup, well, again, Revenge have a lot of sustain, but Awilix kind of counters that. Like, Raw, he can do a lot of burst. In a lot of seconds, or just a few seconds, he can get you down low, but he's never been #1 killer. Like, unless he uses his ult, he's not going to completely kill you off. Awilix is the perfect, I'm going to pick you up as you try to run away.
Yeah, Awilix is so good at punishing you when you're on the retreat, and Celestial Beam, Searing Pain can be a pretty potent combination if LingXiaoWho can land both of those abilities under the same target. As already, looks like Achilles kind of moved up a little bit further forward and been able to push back Gnome. Look at the Warrior Blessing stacks. Just by virtue of being ranged, already Achilles being able to get off to an advantage stacking those up.
And forcing a lot of mana already from Gnome. He's already sitting at about half, and while he might be able to get some good damage down, I mean, using anything too early on, it's going to force some pots out of him. It's going to make it a little bit rougher to deal with this Aphrodite, which admittedly he should have a better early game against.
And he almost certainly will, as meanwhile the duo lane sees Revenge grabbing this early pressure as ChronicThe and Davies kind of stepped away right away, realized they weren't going to be able to keep up with the lane pressure from the Chernobog Geb. Just come over, grab their buffs instead. Then they're going to go back towards purple. They're going to lose a few minions to the tower for this because they're not even going to go catch that wave now. They're going to go right to purple buff. And meanwhile, Revenge has already grabbed it and gone down to split their own buff. So they gave up a lot there, I feel like, on the back end of that.
Yeah, a lot of XP just in terms of the minion wave, but then, okay, you compare, well, we got 2-man splits on 2 buffs, but no minions, and then now a 2-man split on 1 buff and a 3-man split on another buff on the other side for Revenge. It's just better XP sharing all around. In terms of control, they've been able to take their jungle and their lead, and they already had good pressure. They already have good clear. This is going to make it a lot more difficult for Fable.
Oh, and first blood comes out for FableGG. Auzrik able to find Reform Mango in the jungle with a little bit of help from Waldrom. That just hurts. Able to give that first blood over to Thoth. Waldrom getting a little bit of extra XP from the assist. Now catching LingXiao here in the mid lane. Not quite enough. Evade and punish. Could potentially set it up with the auto attack. Not enough. Fable almost find 2 kills.
You could feel LingXiao clenching a little bit right there, right?
Oh,
that's
sure.
incredibly close, and that is the issue. Reformed Mango goes up. He's trying to get those mid harpies on the right-hand side just to get a little bit of experience. He's just farming, as the jungle should do. But unfortunately, when you lose that pressure early on, especially when you get first blooded, immediately your mid laner who has no mobility is in trouble.
Now Zhen in trouble, and dual lane sprint comes out, Geb shield on himself. Aggressive dash forward from Davies. Shockwave could turn things around. Now ChronicThe Bros is the one in trouble. Dash forward and able to find the kill. YRNGino able to take him down and looking for the trade over on Davy as Auzrik falls in mid. It's a bloodbath. Double kill for the duo lane for Revenge.
Trade him 3 for 1 and turn it on its head. Just being able to play that appropriately. Geb knowing exactly the position. Chernobog, I want to say kind of catching Fable by surprise, maybe not expecting the amount of damage he was able to do, maybe just tunnel visioning a little bit in. They wanted those kills, and it ends up costing them a lot.
And that's just how strong Geb can be early on with the Geb shield to keep himself alive. His clear, not always the best, but the Geb shield was important. The Chernobog passive is amazing for building up those auto attacks on the same target, how he's able to turn things around onto Davy. And consider, Zhen went blink to start this. He didn't have a sprint. He didn't have a shell to help out, and ChronicThe used his sprint. They should have been able to walk him down, but unable to. Jin able to dance his way out of that one.
And a lot of that is where they engaged it, right? It's not only in the fact that you're engaging a little bit too close to the tower, but it's the fact that they have a full minion wave right there, and like you said, Chernobog just sitting there waiting for you to pretty much come right to him. It was kind of served up on a silver platter. ChronicThe bows and Davey going to end up paying for that. And again, now the experience lead very heavily in favor of the duo lane here for Revenge.
Going to help them out a lot trying to get that lead, but remember what happened across the map. LingXiao was able to find a kill as well onto Auzrik to return a much-needed kill and give an assist credit over to RevengeGG. They were at a bit of a deficit after that early spill that Mango took. That should even things out a little bit for them here in the mid lane as Waldrom joins back, can't find the stun on LingXiao, but not really looking for it, and instead they're going to be able to fall back.
You can see Mango still suffering, actually I'd say a lot from that early first blood, sitting at level 4, the rest of his team kind of taking into getting their ultimates, and I feel like that's a little bit more devastating overall for their team, just because he has a lot of setup when it comes down to it, a lot of ability to just say, hey Raw, shoot me, I'm going to knock him up, throw him over here, you're going to be able to get a guaranteed kill. You want to shut down Auzrik, that's going to be a perfect path, and he's still just a little bit right now behind Waldrom on the Achilles.
You're right, this gives a small opportunity for Waldrom where he has the execute available, and they don't have the best ultimate. Actually, Gino goes up into the air, came right back down, it looks like trying to find some aggression onto Davey, who is able to fall back, has the sprint ticking on him, so not going to be able to grab him, but look who's waiting in the wings. RevengeGG is lurking, but no one's going to come close enough up. Actually going to blink in. Shockwave, not going to be able to find the combination or the pull back in on the ultimate. RevengeGG, they kind of botched that one.
That was just one step away, I want to say, from a Gebel that could have been completely devastating. That blink was just not enough to close the gap that you really needed. Davey really should be counting his luck right now, because that should not have gone his way. The fact that he's lived through it is going to be great, but again, just keeping him shut down, keeping him level 4, and keeping him, I guess, under the knowledge that, hey, there's pressure here. You're not going to be able to get rid of us that easily.
And it really looked like there was a bit of miscommunication about what exactly it is that they want to do, because Mango does eventually drop the ultimate, that pull off the knockup, but it's so late. It's the last thing that they do in that fight, right? So there's no chance of it happening. There's a couple opportunities for it. Either he blinks immediately behind with Jin for the knockup off the shockwave, or he lands his own knockup. Neither one happens, and because of it, they're not able to find any kill. Davey and ChronicThe really expend nothing to get out of there.
And that solo lane matchup we were talking about a lot earlier, especially during picks and bans. This is pretty much how I expect it to go. Achilles going to heal himself. He's going to be able to clear the wave, no problem. Gnome should get a lot of poke, but ultimately it's not going to mean anything because Achilles going to be able to heal himself back up. You need a little bit more jungle pressure, and that's exactly where Mango comes into this equation. He's looking for buffs. He's looking for a kill, and with how far Achilles up, I'd be kind of surprised. No, he's actually going to pull away from it.
RevengeGG going to be meeting with Waldrom. Bit of a sandwich opportunity as LingXiao here has the knockup. Snipe goes through. Waldrom ends up falling. LingXiao able to bring him down. No problemo. Now Auzrik could be in some trouble here in the middle lane as well. Is going to get that mini root, but no real fallout from LingXiao. Knockup lands, and the pull beads. Not going to save you here. LingXiao finds 2.
And that was perfect. Raw recognizing, all right, he hit the beads exactly where to put the damage, deals with it right there, and that opens up a lot more in terms of the map control. I mean, 5-1 right now in terms of kill. Gnome, I want to say, still maybe feeling a little bit of pressure, but with 4 members essentially free, you can come over. The Oracle Harpies, Gold Fear, even maybe a couple kills in the duo lane are for the picking.
Well, that gank was so important because of exactly what you mentioned earlier. You talked about that solo lane, right? And how RevengeGG hasn't really put any pressure on Killy. So the fact that not only is he not putting pressure on this Aphrodite, which is just going to be a monster late, but that his duo lane gank failed, it almost hurts you twice because you're not getting the pressure on the Aphrodite and you didn't get the gank here. But now they've been able to get LingXiao ahead, level 9 to level 7 for Auzrik. I feel like this really makes up for any potential deficit they could have had because of the early failed gank off a great play from Mango and LingXiao in that middle lane.
And not just in terms of experience, but honestly just gold that they have when it comes down to it. Net worth right now, Raw sitting up at the top. He's 600 ahead of the Thoth. He's going to be able to get at least tier 1 item ahead of him the entire time. Yeah. And that looks like it's going to keep climbing. Right now he's 3-0 with the way things are going. His farm is really good. The kills keep going his way. So if he can continue this up, it gets to the point where Auzrik just won't be able to match him in damage.
And Auzrik used his beads, and it wasn't enough to save his life, so for the next 77 seconds, there's another gank opportunity here if it's going to be RevengeGG, if it's going to be even Jin rotating over as Mango going aggressive onto Killy. This is some much-needed focus he talked about. Goes up onto Suku, but wasn't ready to jump away just yet. Has to fall back. The heal from Killy, too strong, especially with Waldrom here.
Jin's trying to look for something. He's actually going to go for the ult, but it's not going to matter. That's going to be the execute coming down from the Achilles, and they're looking to fight this back, but now you have LingXiao rotating in.
ChronicThe bros taking a little bit too much damage from LingXiao, who we mentioned is pretty far ahead. Fatal Strike has reset, so he is going to be able to jump away. He's not going to be able to find him with the Searing Pain, but boy, that was close. But Waldrom played that fight about as well as you can. He catches Reform Mango early on with good damage, uses Fatal Strike for the CC immunity to avoid Cataclysm and find the execute.
Does Achilles still look as good with like some singed hair in the back? Because I feel like that Searing Pain was like, it's just not close enough to hit, but just enough to kind of shave a little off the head.
Well, he's going shirtless, so the answer is yes.
Definitely felt it.
My man's
he
still
actually
looking
has
good.
A very good back tan now from that beat.
That's right, yeah, it's summertime. You know, Achilles already bragging about how great he looks, looking a little bit better now, courtesy of LingXiao, who was very close to that Searing Pain, just wasn't quite enough to even that fight back out.
And unfortunately, that was one of those moments where you have a Gebel come through. Cataclysm's going to be big, except for the fact that that executes like perfectly timed. It's not going to be able to connect, and you lose Mango once again in all of that. 0-2 and 3. He's been great in terms of helping out the mid lane, but he just hasn't had that pressure anywhere else.
And it might not even have been on the mark with it. You know, when I go a little bit more Thoughtist, but we got to fall back. Gino is a little bit in trouble, trying to take this trade up against Davey with the minions, causing a bit of problems. Trying to find some shots through it. Gino should probably come out favored here, especially when he's able to land the 2. Airstrike is used, but Zhen gonna dive. Shockwave tail end does bring down Davey.
And this is one of those things, I feel like there are two players right now. There are those that understand how to play against Chernobog, and those that are just going to get thrashed by Chernobog. And right now, Gino knows how to play him. Gino is doing it beautifully. And while Jin's still going to be able to take that second kill and technically have credit for both of them, that is going to be a free tower over here as Gino has just been running through this lane.
Yeah, that's 2 quick kills for the Geb in duo lane, whether you expected it or not. That's where those 2 kill credits have gone. But hey, a little bit extra farm for your support never hurts, as Gold Fury now being looked at by Revenge. Waldrom is on his way to this. Davey really isn't going to be able to make it to this one in time, so Waldrom, the only one that could stop this gold lead from getting worse. Revenge are able to secure the gold. Fury Fable can't get in there in time. That's going to push them now about 3,000 gold out in front.
And that's one of those perfect times. They know Auzrik is back. They know that there's no snipe potential from him. They just killed off the duo lane, so they're not going to be making it back anytime soon. Waldrom, well, I think he played that properly going in for it. It's not like Achilles has so much that he's going to be able to outburst the Raw. And so pretty free, secure coming down for the Gold Fury. Going to be able to skyrocket them even further ahead. 3,000 gold as of right now. But 7-2, their kills are just slowly coming in their favor. The only 2 deaths are on Mango.
And Gino just dropped his ultimate. I thought he was looking to go for a rotation, but instead looks like he just traded out with Davey. Didn't really get any relics off the back of that one, but as you were just highlighting, the kills all seem to be going the way of Revenge. Maybe this can be a way for Fable to try and turn things around as they look for the buff invade along with Killy. But Reform Mango and Gnome are both here. They force them back. Unable to find anything here on was FableGG, and in fact, Revenge might be looking for the counter collapse. There comes the stun out from Waldrom. Root is going to come out as well with that overhead jump. In execute threshold is Gnome. Waldrom finds it, able to take down Gnome very early on, and the stun of Mango reset on the execute, but not quite in the health threshold.
And now trying to keep going, Shin's going to come through, go for the knockup. The shield is really what was needed. Mango is just trying to stay alive. His damage has been good, but the ult wasn't used properly, and now Cerberus is doing whatever he can.
LingXiao finds that first kill. Knockup lands, gonna bring Killy back underneath tier 1 tower, and the mini root to let him take one more shot. LingXiao has the Celestial Beam and a double kill in the duo lane, takes down Killy and Waldrom. They only have to give up Gnome.
And right now, Auzrik taking a lot of shots.
Whoa.
He throws the ult out, but it's just a second too early as Gino is going to be able to make a good rotation for his team. And they take that 7-2 and make it 10-3.
Yeah, I think this game might be the case to make for that that Chernobog passive being good. I think this just might be the game where you can watch back some film and say, yeah, that seems good.
Hey,
I'll take it.
We need you over here, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're able to make it work out for them. 4,000 experience lead now, 3,600 gold in favor of Revenge, and they have not let up on the gas. We're only 12 minutes into this game. We're outpacing the minutes, the kills per minute right now with 13 kills in 12 minutes.
And a lot of that, I'm going to give credit to LingXiao. Just the way he's been rotating specifically for that solo lane fight. It was one of those moments that admittedly Revenge probably should have just called it quits after they end up losing their Hercules. Gnome goes down, they're like, all right, you know what? put a pause on this, but you have Jin, you have LingXiao coming over, and they're just like, all right, we can make this, turn it around. A lot of abilities get used, but his are the only ones that truly connect the way you needed them to, and that burst gets them those few kills and gets them that lead.
And guess who's here on this side of the map? No, none other than Gino. They do get the pull. Waldrom is going to be brought back in, but he's running right towards Jin, who hits him with the knockup and hits him with the Geb Auto. Finds one more kill. 3-0-3 for the support. Pyromancer going to be the next item on the menu, but ChronicThe Bros is here. Auzrik is waiting in the wings to try and steal this away.
Going to be able to come through, throws out the full snipe just to make sure there's a secure, and of course Ra, but he's going to get that off in 30 seconds. It's not going to make a big difference for him, and I like the fact that we're seeing Divine Ruin, we're seeing a lot of items come down on the side of Revenge that are admittedly going to help deal with the Aphrodite towards the late game. That healing's going to get out of hand. I'd like to see Fable kind of go the same route just in terms of the sustain that we see on Revenge, but so far they haven't been able to afford it.
Yeah, well, it's basically just Waldrom with the Brawlers, but aside from that, they haven't really been itemized into it very well as the red buff gets stripped away yet again. Revenge now taking their lead, not just in kills in terms of lane pressure, but now they're moving it into the enemy jungle and stripping away some of their farm. This is where things really start to get out of control. Now, Gnome rotated over for that. Killy didn't. So the tier 1 tower falls, some free farm in the lane for Killy to try and get this Aphrodite ahead, because that's kind of basically it for Fable on the list of win conditions right now, or tick boxes is let's get this Aphrodite to the point where she's carrying us.
And you're keeping the towers at least even, which is at this point going to be at least somewhat important to you, because that's a lot of gold that's still on the map. For Revenge, that means that as long as they can snowball it and keep up this pressure, they're just going to be able to push themselves even further ahead. But for Fable, that's the way to close down the fact that you've lost a Gold Fury, lost a Pyromancer. That's your way to keep yourself at least alive and hopeful.
Davey is able to jump away from Jin. No real follow-up there anyway. It's actually Reform Mango who's in the middle of everybody. Geb's shield lets him immune some of that damage. Waldrom going to be the furthest one forward for the squad, looking for a stun. It gets Cataclysmed. Actually, no, a little bit off the mark. Jin recognizing that does not land, but Gino, undeterred, goes in aggressive onto Davey after dropping the ultimate. Auzrik looking for some return damage. Snipe comes through. Doesn't really hit much of anybody, but Gnome's in the backside, Gore.
And they're trying to figure out how they want to aggress on this. Waldron's going to be the one that's knocked up and taken down, just bursted by 3 members right there, and they're still laying in wait, maybe looking to aggress, but honestly, this looks like they might turn for the tower.
Man, this combination between the Awilix, the knockup from the shockwave on Geb, as well as the Hercules, it's just too strong. Able to very quickly take down Waldrom. Now getting pulled back in is Killy, controlled. Has the ultimate while she's in the knockup. That's pretty new, but Chronic wants to turn things around before Mango lives somehow. Maybe not. Davey airstrike is enough to find the kill.
And now you can see Revenge is kind of torn. They don't know who they want to go after. You have Davey, who's just isolated himself. You could potentially pick up that kill, but 3 other members that are all half health, they make the call. They're going for the Gold Fury, either to bait or confirm it. Either way, they're going to be happy.
FableGG, though, don't want to give this one up for free. They chase down Gnome into the jungle, who's happy to turn around. He takes a bunch of damage, very nearly in some trouble. Shockwave keeps him alive. Searing Pain off cooldown yet again. Doesn't quite hit home. Revenge are not going to be able to do this. Gold Fury, in fact, they've got to heal up. FableGG recognize this weakness, and they want to stick around. They have 5 members here, and they're ready to rock.
Gnome is very sure of his ability to stay alive right here. He's going to throw the boulder into the backline, and that's going to get a double tap. LingXiao is going to get the kill, and now the knockup's going to be good. They're looking for the pressure and the control.
ChronicThe Bros is already out of this fight. Gnome was an X2 threshold, but he retreated. Gino is too far forward, and Auzrik brings him down even through the Aegis. Waldrom takes down LingXiao. Gold Fury cannot be started up by Revenge. They lose 2 their most important carries. Now FableGG want to continue the chase. Jin in a little bit of trouble.
Of all the people to aggress on, though, Geb not going to be an easy one to take down. Mango's going to be back. But I feel like this is, again, one of those engagements that neither team's really going to come out on top unless they can take down Gnome right here. Get a 3rd kill overall for the engagement. It looks like it should be easy again. Really low health bar, but Mango's going to jump in.
Mango is able to come in and at least take down Davey, not let him escape. The execute from Waldrom makes it 4 kills overall in favor of FableGG. With only Jin up on the map, they should be going to grab this Gold Fury. Revenge overstay in that last fight once they were low, especially when Gnome got poked out in that corridor between the mid and jungle path. Revenge should have given this one up, or at least that's my read on this score. I mean, are they right to go for this? As Gino comes back in, Revenge get the Gold Fury. Gino makes a huge individual play. Stygian Torment is going to control everyone. Killy is going to find him, but now Jin's stuck in a bad part of town.
that was going to be probably the biggest moment for Fable. That was going to pull them all back into it. Now, not only do they lose that gold, yeah, they get essentially a full team wipe if they can kill this Gep off right here, but Ra's going to come back. The snipes are going to be good in terms of his damage. He's going to pick up another kill. Revenge don't know when to stop fighting.
It's taken so long for Fable to cleanly try and win this fight that Revenge will be able to repeatedly re-engage. In fact, LingXiaoWho is juking around inside the heels. He's still alive. The birds were just too much, though. The tick damage took him down. Boulder not quite going to be able to find Waldrom, but he's able to get in range with the driving strike. Stun creates the breathing room he needs. Killy double kill for taking down Mango. This fight's been going on for 2.5 uninterrupted minutes.
And Gnome's still here. Gnome came back, and he's looking to fight again. This is one of those moments again, and I think this would have worked about 2 minutes ago for Revenge to just say, all right, quit fighting. Just hold back. That's one of the things. Yes, you are ahead. Yes, you have that aggression, but look at the dip that you've taken. Experience is going to be completely even again, and you still have a gold lead, but I mean, 2,500 especially, or 2,400, when it's split across 5 people, is not anywhere near as much as what you had.
No, that's just bad. I mean, that's just bad. Look at that. I mean, it's a 5,000 drop in experience that was just taken there by Revenge. They had the lead for the moment, but after that extended fight around the gold sphere, they end up giving it up as a brief pause comes out for Auzrik. We'll get everything sorted out here for Fable and try and get them back into the game. But I mean, Gore, I mean, what went wrong for Revenge there in that fight?
They kept fighting. That was their problem. Like, I mean, a lot of the time, it's, okay, you're in a 3v4. And then, okay, well, Gnome's coming in. Gnome has no health. Don't count him as a full person. He's not going to live as long. He ended up outliving some of the members, but is all this awkward positioning. They're very spread out, split up, trying to take these engagements that, admittedly, they've been winning in the past, but you can't always rely on yourself being able to find, like, this choice double kill in the middle of a fight. And they just overstay the entire time. It's about 2 minutes of overstay.
And it's pretty surprising, too, because they have the Raw on their team. If they stick around and just don't pull gold, you know, kind of sit back and heal, maybe that one goes their way as Pyromancer now being looked at. Gnome gets controlled on the left-hand side. Pyromancer's low, but it's been leased for now. Zhen does get stunned out, but Geb Shield keeps him alive. Staging Torment, but Cataclysm's better in response. Celestial Beam comes through. Pyromancer goes the way of Revenge, and Zhen falls to Waldrom, who steps forward and takes down the rock.
I'm looking to try and figure out where Auzrik wants to throw his damage. Going to cancel out of his ult for now, but now with that stun, Mango's in trouble. There's an execute. There's a lot of damage waiting for him, but his team's going to be coming in. They're actually going to be able to save him for now.
Reform Mango blinks over the wall. Fatal Strike off the mark from Waldrom, but he's still moving forward. Even with low HP, Gino has to use the Aegis defensively. LingXiao's healing up, but Gnome has rotated in, trying to control Davey, but Auzrik is still here, lying in the wings. He is able to hit the evade and punish, but LingXiao survives. FableGG. This whole game, they've been on the back foot, but now they are the aggressors at the Tier 2 tower line of Revenge.
This is just such an awkward moment because they don't know how to aggress. They don't think they can dive this Tier 2, especially with crits like that. You're not going to be able to take any of that damage. There's going to be LingXiao picking up a kill with his beams as they come through. And now Fable are the ones who overstayed their welcome.
The 1v1s continuing to happen between Gino and Davey. Used his beads defensively. Killy is low, and Gnome is right here to try and capitalize. Davey has retreated from the Hunter boxing match, but now has to worry about Gnome. LingXiao finds Killy on the left-hand side. Gnome continuing to aggress. He really wants to get Davey, but he's able to reposition with the agility. Now Chronic ends up falling on the right-hand side.
A lot of target switching coming down from Revenge. They weren't quite sure at the beginning of that who they truly wanted to isolate, but they still get 3 kills overall. They push out the other 2, which means Fire Giant's free. It's open. They burned Ozrik's ult, so even the fact that he's alive doesn't matter to them.
Well, just when I was saying that Fable were the ones that were on the aggression, we'll take a look at the charts. Things have swung tremendously back in favor of Revenge after that fight. They grab the Fire Giant for themselves. They grab a couple kills as well. Killy and Chronic still waiting to rejoin the world of the living. They're up 5 kills. They're up about 6,000 gold, and they want to make that even worse with a Tier 1 tower over in solo lane.
Now they're going to be able to get this one no problem, especially with Fire Giant on their side. The Tier 2 is the one I'm interested in. Davey is coming around the back, has his ult, has a lot of damage available, but he has not been winning these boxing matches in a 1v1, let alone in a 3v1.
Well, the knockup is off the mark, so Davey is still alive. Aphrodite Undying Love keeps him alive, but Waldrom makes it a 1-for-1 trade. Mango drops as well as Davey. Final Judgment comes through the fight. Big damage from Auzrik. No follow-up, though, off ChronicThe Bros' ultimate.
Now just trying to find the damage. Chronic is going to be isolated. Waldrom's low. The heal's not quite coming through. Gnome is waiting for him. And as long as they have this properly, that's going to be a double kill for Gino.
Gino finds it. Searing Pain did much of the heavy lifting there, but Gino happy to put that one down and dot those I's and cross those T's. Waldrom has to fall back to the Phoenix for Revenge. Even without Mango, still happy to come in and push down the Tier 2. and even come in for the Phoenix. They have the sustain from the Ra. Auzrik is showing himself on the map in mid lane in the 4v2. I think they can probably do this.
And this is going to be perfect for them, not only being able to get the fire minions, but at least that pressure. You're fighting two. They're going to have to come out and fight you if they want to defend it, and that's going to set you up for more success if you can find another kill. Respawns are starting to come through for Fable, so you're going to see the retreat. But there's still two tasty tier 2s on the map.
Phoenix has fallen on the right-hand side. Might as well be Olympus in this situation as it has dropped. Revenge now want to grab the tier 2 tower in mid. Or rather not. He's going to walk away from that one. Waldrom kind of sticking his head out, but Gnome happy to fight. To be fair, a lot of this comes over at the expense of the experience from Gnome, it's felt like recently. He's been around this level for a while, a little bit behind everyone when solo laners aren't. But this early grouping has really worked out for them, so even though it's hurt him personally, they're happy to go for it as Fable actually steal away the Gold Fury.
And now trying to figure out what they want to do. They should retreat at this point. You just got a big win in terms of objectives. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And honestly, that's perfect because it's been like 10 minutes now that they've just been solidly fighting. I feel like they haven't really given themselves a break on either side. Revenge not seeming to want to let go of a fight, especially if they've more or less definitively lost it. And Fable not knowing, I want to say, when to retreat fully. And as of right now, both these teams falling back. There's still a couple minutes of Fire Giant online for Revenge. So as long as they can use this properly, they should still hold the lead.
Yeah, Revenge definitely playing a little loosely here in this set, it feels like. And again, you know, they're going to the lane already. Don't necessarily need this victory to get them there, but you know, you want to be able to take as much high-quality practice into that lane as possible. Revenge looking for that here now as they go up against Fable, who have not looked like slouches so far. They've repeatedly tried to fight their way back into this game, but Revenge now on top. Want to try to make things worse with this tier 2 tower, which they're all grouping around now.
Just looking for a way in. It's not going to be hard to find that. I feel like Fable have kind of recognized, you know what, tier 2s, especially with the way and the lead that Revenge have really cultivated, it's not going to be worth your time. You don't really want to try to defend it because then you just lose your lives and the tier 2. Let them have it. It's going to suck in terms of gold because now they're going to be batting about 10k more than you, but you can still look to defend these Phoenixes.
Gnome standing the furthest forward, taunting to let FableGG know exactly who's in charge here of this map. And we saw from Revenge, they're ready for this push. They've got the Emperor's armor. I believe that one's on Jin. They're ready to come in and fight, try and slow down those tower shots so they can get this one rolling.
I'm just going to say right now, before the fight starts out, Cursed Ankh is going to play big here from Gnome. It's going to shut down this Aphrodite. And right now, he's just looking to shut down this Thoth.
Yeah, he might not even need the Cursed Ankh to take care of this Thoth, who had to use Beat and Aegis just to survive. ChronicThe bros looking for the initiation, but Jin puts that to bed with the Cataclysm. Waldrom in trouble on the backside. Fatal Strike does get him away, at least for the moment. For Mango, though, is not. Davey brings him down, even to the Geb Shield. Left Phoenix still standing for the moment, and now they're being forced back. ChronicThe bros putting out good damage. So is Davey, who jumps in aggressively. Auzrik takes down Jin. Gino trying to box through the Aegis. He does delete Davey with the big-time crit. Left Phoenix falls, but a double kill for Auzrik, as only Gnome and LingXiao are still standing.
Now they're chasing him down. Ra gonna get stunned out and burned down right there. There is one Hercules, and while I've seen him get a quadra kill in this area before, I just don't feel like Gnome's gonna pull that one out right here, right now. While you do have fire minions though pouring in on the side, you get a full team wipe, but is that gonna be enough for Fable? I mean, right now, they don't really have that position to rush down and get into the base of Revenge.
No, but that's such a big fight from Fable to have been able to slow Revenge down, at least in some manner. Now, Revenge are probably happy to give a few lives up for a Phoenix, but Fable got to come back and defend this. They've let this Titan get very, very low, and the Phoenixes aren't up yet. It's not going to start regenning just yet until all 3 Phoenixes are back up. So Revenge can come back in and force this door down pretty easily with how low that Titan is. They're going to go push up these waves, but Fable showing some signs of life. If they can stabilize, Auzrik clearly has the damage at this point in the game.
Everything that they need is pretty much lined up for them, and you kind of need, I want to say, Revenge to play the way they have been. That was very aggressive from Gnome and very separated from him and Mango. They go into the back line, they go really deep, they tunnel vision onto Waldrom, and I admit getting rid of the Execute is going to be big in terms of the fact that it can reset and, again, execute, but it's just one of those things that you separate yourself so much from your team that it becomes a 3v2 over here and then a 3v2 over here. You end up losing that. Now
well,
it's
Gnome's just going for it. Cora is Gnome's just going for it, I think. He's here at the tower line, but Killy recognized it. He's not going to be able to sneak his way in this time. I like what you're trying to do, trying to Tom Clancy it, but I think this one's been recognized by the boys of Fable as they're going to track him down.
But now the true secret, he pulls him away from Fire Giant. No one's looking at Fire Giant, although Gnome might lose his life. I don't know if it's the exact call. I feel like he was, yeah, just trying to solo the Titan.
Sure.
But the rest of the team looking, I want to say, more sensible about it. Okay, we can't just sneak in. They have 2 Phoenixes back up. Fire Giant, get rid of Right one more time, and then by then we should be able to push in. That Titan's still incredibly low.
So that feels like maybe I just win us the game with this play, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if I lose, then I am dead for a while, yes, but we don't lose off that, so it's okay. Or maybe we just win, but now the game is on. Jin goes in for the Cataclysm, forces beads or cooldowns out from just about everybody. They have to fall back. FableGG have the numbers advantage. Are they ready to aggress? Gino is the one that's taking a bunch of damage, goes to the wall to extend the dash. Waldrom going to be the front line for the squad. Doesn't have Stygian Torment out just yet, but it is available for him.
Just going forward. That's going to be a beautiful snipe from LingXiao, and now ChronicThe Bro's going to go down as Gino gets some of the return damage. Mango finally picking up a kill for himself. Auzrik, Davey left by themselves, and I don't know if they have it.
This fight might have been the fight, Gore, but when you line up for the searing pain, then it's hard to win. Davey, the last one still standing as he tries to run back towards his tower. Reform Mango, gonna chase him down, get the full-on deicide. Surrender vote has started from FableGG, but I don't know if you can surrender if you've already lost. Revenge, gonna push right past the mid-Phoenix. They don't even need to take it down. Fire minions in the base. Revenge, gonna take game 1.
And honestly, a lot of that comes down to Mango. I was just about to compliment him.
You still gonna do it now, or?
I don't know. I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit. A lot of fountain deaths at the end there.
Well, Revenge recognizing that game had basically already been won. What a play made there in the end with that searing pain through the fight. Hit 2 members, deleted one outright, brought the other one very low. I mean, that's kind of the fear sometimes when you chase through those narrow corridors, that you're lining up for a big roll.
And it honestly comes down to the fact that I'm still going to compliment him. Mango played, I want to say, better for the latter 5 minutes than we had seen like in the first 5 minutes. It was one of those things that there were times he was getting caught out, there were times that he was out of position, but for that one it's like, okay, I'm going to root him, we're going to keep him in place, and then you hit 2-3 people with a snipe from Raw. It makes your job as a jungler not only easier, but you showcased exactly how tactical you could be with an Awilix.
You know, and I think this might be Awilix's like power curve in the game anyway, but he had a good early game and a good late game. The mid game maybe not as much as they sort of realized they'd gotten away with the game, kind of started playing a little bit too loosely perhaps, but the early game combination between him and the Raw was so strong, with whether it was either the knock up into the shots, whether it was the little tiny root that she gets on the feather step that locks him in place just for a moment so the Celestial Beam can hit. They really played that well together.
And honestly, being able to pull it forward again, a lot of damage that was there. They went for the anti-heal, they had the Curse Stonk, they had Divine Ruin, they had Pestilence. Like, they were shutting down this Aphrodite to the point where during those last fights, she did not matter.
No, at that point, really, that just was not going to be enough for him. Let's see what...